Here we go. Jam Camp Tuesdays.
What's up?
Hey, Danny.
Hi, Danny.
What are you up to?
Talking an email.
Nikki.
What's going on?
What up? What are you doing?
Just doing some Warrior Boy charting right now.
Woo!
Welcome back to Jam Camp Tuesdays with Cindy and Shannon.
Today we have head video coordinator, Danny Mills.
And assistant video coordinator, Nicki Gross.
Okay, so walk us through a day in the life of a jam video coordinator.
Typical day, we would get in early, normally around 7. Sometimes Nicki's here around 5:36.
Wow.
Come in, before practice, if we've had a game before, we're finishing up an edit, making some changes that the coach wanted before we show the team. We'll either show video before practice and then go out on the floor. Practice runs normally about 2 hours. We're just helping out with whatever we can, rebounding for guys before, after practice, and then during practice helping out whatever the coaches need. Once practice is finished, depends if we filmed practice or not, we'll come back and put that onto the coach's hard drive and then give it to him for him to watch. And then in the afternoon we'll do, I know Nicki's got Warrior Board stuff to do. Sometimes we're helping out the assistant coaches with a scout edit for the next game, looking at their personnel or sets that the opponent team runs. And then guys normally come in after around 6 or 7 to shoot. So a lot of us video and interns stay here and help rebound for them. So.
And then for a typical game day, we'll help with warm-ups at the beginning. Danny will make sure the video's all ready to go for pregame, and then we'll take care of the video during the game, pausing the film so that we have DVD copies for afterwards, and we'll deliver it to the refs. We'll give it to the opponents. We just distribute it to all our assistants and interns so we can all do charting afterwards. And that's when our job really starts, is post-game. That's when we'll start, like Danny mentioned, cutting up the film, really stressing the points that Coach wants, part of our system, just to give just to break it down so that the guys have a good idea and can really learn from it of the past game for the next game.
Here is our Sports Code Game Breaker program that we use to cut up film after a game to produce the edit. Basically, we'll code everything from off-ball defense to pick-and-roll defense. I believe we had 5 clips on this game that we showed to the team. So it'll just, we'll take out the instances from the game that we thought were good, and then, like I said, we'll put it together with all the other categories that we track and put it in a presentation format, which coach will watch, do revisions for us, and then we present it to the team. Normally the day after a game is when they'll see it.
Do you both have any prior experience with sports?
Yeah, I grew up playing sports in Australia. Started playing basketball when I was 10, and then all the way through to college in the States. So I came to college when I was 18. I went to a junior college in Missouri my first year, then transferred to Oregon Tech. Finished my 3 years out there. Played for the Australian junior national team, under 18s, and then played for the Irish national senior team. I got dual citizenship with my dad. He's Irish, so it's a good experience. And then I got into coaching after a few years working. So I was with the University of San Diego for a year as a graduate assistant, and then the last 3 years I spent coaching in Italy. So.
I played soccer for 4 years at Seton Hall, for my undergrad. Then I used my 5th year of eligibility to run track at grad school at Monmouth, both schools in New Jersey. And then my 2nd year of grad school, I worked for the basketball team. I was their graduate manager, did some things around the office for them, and they kept giving me more tasks, and that's kind of where I learned video. So I've been in college sports for a while. This is my first year with the professional team.
All right, so Nikki, you were a biology major and then received a master's in business. So how did basketball come about?
I wanted to originally be a doctor growing up. I wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon, stay in sports that way. And then about midway through junior year of college, I decided I didn't want to be a doctor anymore, which was kind of a late decision. So I finished out my bio degree, tried to find some positives of how that's helped me, because you really can't use anything about fungus in the basketball world. But you know, I need attention to detail and things like that. And then I decided to go to grad school, and I wanted to be in business. change things up from the science route, and I learned a lot of things in business school that hopefully can help me later on. And I just always loved basketball, so when I was at grad school, it worked out perfect. I had great coaches that I worked under at Monmouth and really learned a lot. So now I finally can pursue my passion of working for basketball.
When did you both decide that video editing was something you wanted to do?
I think I decided a couple of years ago it's a good way to break into the NBA if that's your goal. A lot of coaches, front office, personnel have started in the video room. You really have to learn the game. I think the way Coach Voigt teaches it, this year especially, I've learned so much. The NBA game's a lot different to, let's say I was in Italy and Australia. It's a lot different game, different spacing, different concepts defensively. So I think learning video and then working your way up that way is a really good way to get a foot in the door anyway and see where it leads. So that's kind of why I kind of chose to go with the video route.
I learned a lot about video last year when I was working for my college team. The assistants were awesome and really taught me a lot about breakdown of film and how to use the programs. We use sports code, and it's just, as Danny said, it's a great way to learn the game. Coach Voigt's taught us so much just by how we break down film here. And it's a great way to learn the league and the players and just really just get a grasp of everything. And like Danny said, it's a great start to the league.
Danny, what's been the funniest thing an American has said to you in regards to Australia and your accent?
There's been a few. I mean, there's typical ones like, oh, you love Foster's beer, like stuff like that, but I mean, that's totally just a myth. No one in Australia even would touch it. Other things like, do you guys even celebrate Christmas? Like, do you even have Christmas in Australia? It's like,
what?
Like, you know what? It's not a different planet. We're still in the world, but yeah, probably the funniest thing was my wife Megan when she first came down to Australia about 4 or 5 years ago to meet my parents. My mum, Megan was like, my mum came in and said, "Hey Megan, I took your thongs outside." She's like, "What do you mean?" She's looking at me, she's like, "Danny, your mum took my underwear outside?" I'm like, "Megan, thongs are flip-flops." So that was probably one of the funniest things. It was just different slang that we use, but pretty much not too much difference between the cultural-wise between Australia and the US.
Right.
Nicki, what's the weirdest thing you've seen Danny do?
Weirdest thing I've seen Danny do. Danny's a funny guy. He makes it very entertaining, especially when we're cutting up film late at night. But I would say the funniest. I guess it's kind of weird too. Thing that he did was ordered fast food outside the car in a drive-thru. He actually got out of the car to order it in the speakerphone closer to the person. So that was one of the most enjoyable.
Now, was that an Australian thing?
No.
A walk-through, not a drive-through. All right, thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you.
On the count of 3, everybody run back to your
Bakersfield Jam, this is Danny. Yeah, so there's a National D-League tryout, and then every team holds their own open tryouts as well. Yeah.